From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big Sunday morning on LALATE with your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In this recording, we're going to go over the incredible breaking news about your fourth stimulus package and how that impacts the fourth stimulus check, that monthly stimulus check. You get started in the month of July, how much you're going to get, when you're going to get it, and all the incredible details. Then in the second half of this video, we go over fifth stimulus that'll raise your benefits up a lifetime, and then apply a benchmark that'll be the highest of a generation and will raise your benefits to a new high. Then in the middle of this recording, we go over the thousands of dollars that viewers continue to get, and we go over all the other breaking news about that fourth stimulus check. It's a great morning. The toast is toasting. The butter is buttering. I'm wearing Sunday red, so either I'm going to win in a golf tournament or I'm going to hope that crypto goes down. It's a big Sunday, and this is LALATE. Sunday, everybody. I hope your Sunday morning is beautiful. I'm wearing red in hope that I potentially win at the Memorial Golf Tournament today. Or I'm hoping that the crypto market goes down and gives a buying opportunity to my viewers. And so there's a purpose for everything. This is Sunday morning LALATE. Hope the weather is good where you are. Drop in the comments right now where you're tuning in from and tell me how the weather is. It's beautiful here in Southern California, in Santa Monica right now. Sunny, not much of a breeze, a little bit muggy at the moment, but so far beautiful. So drop in the comments how it is where you are. In this fourth stimulus check update of 2021, we're going to go over that monthly stimulus check. How much you get with that fourth stimulus check, when you get it, and how you get it. We'll be going over the breaking news, absolutely wonderful breaking news about that fourth stimulus package that came out of the White House. Then we'll also be turning to fifth stimulus that'll raise your benefits up a lifetime with a new benchmark. And we'll be turning to the incredible thousands of dollars that viewers continue to get, and you're going to get it as well. This is LALATE, the only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel, live in the morning and taped in the afternoons. I'm currently live here from Santa Monica. I'm next live with you at 9:30, but we're running a little bit late, it's probably about 9:45, with morning's crypto, followed by noontime at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers in 1 year, a YouTube record. Next stop, 1 million. Hit that subscribe button right now. The most comprehensive and most accurate reporting there is online. Also, like this video. 2,000-3,000 likes. Every like helps. And consider becoming a member. Let's get right into that fourth stimulus check bill and fourth stimulus check proposal. Starting with the House bill from Jalapal. That House bill provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. That means that you would get a stimulus check monthly as long as the pandemic continues, and then a stimulus check every month thereafter. Let's compare that versus the Senate. The Senate proposal is a stimulus check from July to December. Now let's jump over to the monthly amounts. The House bill provides $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter. The Senate amount, the amount is unknown on a monthly basis, but word on the street is it's this. Wow. $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000. Boy. Or $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400. Now, if you're in the live chat just after 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, get ready to vote House or Senate and tell me where you're watching from and how's the weather. And tell me if you're going to win the golf tournament or not. But first, let's go over the macroeconomic numbers that could impact Jalapal's House bill. Some legislators contend the pandemic may be over for purposes of legislation by the time that the House bills call for a vote. If that's the case, then Jalapal's bill would provide 1 year of stimulus checks, not pandemic plus 1 year. And that would amount to $13,000 over 1 year compared to this over 6 months. I think now you got an opinion. So jump into the live chat and tell me your opinion. House or Senate, vote right now. House or Senate, and tell me where you're watching and how the weather is. All right, let's go over everything else you need to know about that fourth stimulus check. Who gets a fourth stimulus check? You do. If you got third, you're going to get a fourth. If you make less than $75,000, you get the fourth stimulus check. Married couple, 150,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check, double it. Household four or less, you get the fourth stimulus check, quadruple it. And then if you're on benefits, you're getting the fourth stimulus check. Congratulations. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, veterans benefits, you're getting the fourth stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check would not come in waves. It's not a waivable check. High check. No, it doesn't work. It's a monthly stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check is not taken out for taxes because it's not income. The fourth stimulus check would not have different amounts for different people because you're all the same. Adult dependents, minor dependents, all the same. Wonderful news. And the fourth stimulus check would start in the month of July. They represent, because they are the legislators, they make the representations, not me. I'm a reporter, not a legislator, at least not yet. So they represent that the vote would be in the month of July. That means that you would get paid in the month of July for the month of July, and then in the month of August for the month of August. And there you go. That is your fourth stimulus check updated 2021, part one of three parts. And there's a recording coming up in a second. I have the breaking news out of the White House, and it's wonderful, of a major deal. But that's coming up in a second. Let's get a preview of the second half of this video. In the second half of this video, we'll be talking about this stimulus that will raise your benefits up a lifetime because of a new benchmark, which will be the highest of a generation. I'll explain to you what you should anticipate for next year in this next week in this discussion as we look to more insight about that benchmark. Very exciting news. It's coming up in the second half of this video. But first, I got a lot of money to get you. And viewers, you are killing it. You don't go less than an hour before reporting to me that you got money for rent or utilities or SNAP. You are doing wonderful. If you're on the live chat or you're watching this show taped and you got money for anything, jump into the chat and say what you got, because it inspires everyone else. Inspires me, inspires other viewers. And if you haven't gotten any money, get a pen and paper ready, because I'm going to get you a lot of money starting right now. Stay at the very end of this video. I have a lot of money to get you. And it starts with $250 billion for you. Well, not all for you. That's not all your money. This is not the publishers. This is not Lotto, a millionaire. This is not Powerball Live. No, it's not all yours to save. It's, you got to share this money. So it's going to be available in several locations. I'm going to go over those locations for you in a second. But each location has different eligibility. So reach out to them, because one may say no and the next one may say yes. They also have their own pot of money. There's available rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and homeowners utilities. And the rent is a fortune. It's about $5,000 of rent for 4 to 6 months. Yes. So we got that pen and paper ready? Let's go over the 6 places you're going to reach out to. City Hall, City Housing Authority. County Hall, County Housing Authority. State Hall, State Housing Authority. You're going to reach out to them and ask for rent assistance because of COVID. Rent assistance because of COVID. Or mortgage assistance because of COVID. You don't say words that they don't understand. Like stimulus, they don't understand that word. And don't say other words they don't understand, like Eggs Benedict. Say, Benedict, he's on vacation. He just doesn't work here anymore. Yeah, you got to say the right words, otherwise they have no idea what you're talking about. So don't mention stimulus and don't mention Eggs Benedict. And so there you go. Congratulations to Tim and Linda who got that money, and other viewers who got that money as well. But the next pot of money, wow. One viewer, I think it was on Fridays mornings in LA, got $6,000 for this for her and her family. And we've had Lynn Glenn get it for herself and her son, her mom. Gail got it as well. It's one of the big success stories. And what is it? It's SNAP. It's SNAP. What is SNAP? How much do you get it? And how do you get it? Let's go over the details. SNAP is money for food. Reach out to Department of Agriculture, DOA, and get it. It pays a fortune. How much? $16,000 for a family of 4 in Hawaii. Wow. Why so much? Because of 2 executive orders, one from Trump and one from Biden, that raised everyone's benefits up between now and December. So go get it. That's $16,000 for SNAP for a family of 4 in Hawaii, or that one viewer who got $6,000. And look at that. And then $5,000 for rent. We are just killing it. And we are only 9 minutes of this video. Wow. And I got a lot more money for you. And it's starting right now. $5,000. One viewer got this, $5,000. What is it? It's money coming back from your states to you. The federal government has identified states as overpaying you unemployment assistance due to computer error. Not your computer, their computer. No fault of your own. And then the state said, return the money, and you did. Well, the federal government said, no, it was your money to keep. The state should have allowed you to keep the money. And now the federal government has ordered the states to return the money to you. Wow. So there you go. When you're going to get it, reach out to your respective state for routing times, and how you're going to get it automatically to the account you have on file with them. The next pot of money has been a real big topic of discussion. And COD dropped into Overnight's Crypto 2 nights ago, and another viewer dropped into Overnight's Crypto 2 days before that to tell you that they wanted to help you and tell you that they got their check and that you should stay positive and motivated because your check is coming. That is a true spirit of the Purple Power. Jumping into Overnight's Crypto, which is our hit overnight show that just ended. It's a 15-hour show that goes from about 7 o'clock to 7 a.m. the next day, and it is a blockbuster. Last night's show that just ended, I think, is going to be our most watched show ever. Sometimes it has 200 people in the room chatting throughout the night. So it's wonderful, but it shows you the embodiment of that spirit. So how much money is this? One viewer got $2,000 for it. What is it? Let's go over all the details. It is the money you're getting back from IRS that you pay taxes on. Here's an example. Let's say you had $9,000 of unemployment assistance. You paid $5,000 in total taxes to IRS on your 2020 return. You're getting, and of which that $4,000 was your taxes on the unemployment. Congratulations, you're getting back $4,000. Next, how? Direct deposit, if you had that listed on your 2020 return, that was the case of COD, but everyone else in the mailbox in a laser thin envelope. So you got to really be careful, watch for it. And in the mailbox over the next few weeks. The checks were sent out in May and are landing in June. Finally, can you track it? Yes. Go to irs.gov and sign up for a username and password. And about 70% of the time, it works. It's called a transcript tracker or transcript search. And it'll show the activity under your name and social security number. It'll show that 2020 tax return you filed, the payment you made, and the refund that's coming to you. Boy, oh boy, can we get better than that? We can. And it starts now with the second of 3 forced stimulus check updates in this video, and the breaking news out of the White House in the last 24 hours. The president has consummated a major deal in the forced stimulus package that was done for the forced stimulus package, created for the forced stimulus package, but was supposed to be finished after the forced stimulus package. But you're going to see, as I explain it to you in just a second, that he got it done before to help get forced stimulus to the finish line. Wow, this is a major win for stimulus. I'll explain it to you in a second, but let me give you the lead up so you understand how we got to the breaking news. It started when Leader Schumer, the Friday before Memorial Day weekend, came out and announced 3 things that confirmed my reporting on this channel. Number 1, he confirmed that the reconciliation process had already been underway. Number 2, he confirmed my reporting that the reconciliation process will be done by July 4th, as he represented. And third, he represented that the reconciliation process would continue and finish with or without bipartisan support, as I am reporting. So how did we get to that announcement by Chuck Schumer? Well, the ball had gotten rolling from Jolapal. Yes, the name from the top of this recording. So Jolapal, who had written that House bill for those monthly stimulus checks, had also written Schumer a letter about a week ago saying, call the vote on the recon. What are you waiting for? And now, of course, he's now calling the vote. Jolapal's letter, however, was co-signed by about 12 House Democrats. Even better, those 12 House Democrats are among the 100-plus House Democrats who wrote the president a letter weeks earlier saying that we're going to put Jolapal's monthly stimulus checks into the 4th stimulus package. Wow, now that's good news. Can you get better than that? Oh yeah, I can. And it came about a week ago when 7 House Democrats wrote the president a letter saying, we're going to work with you to put those monthly stimulus checks into the 4th stimulus package. Now, what does work with you mean? It's a euphemism. It means that they're going to put it in there, but they're just telling him because he's not the legislature. They are. In fact, they are responsible for doing 4 stimulus checks. But who are these people? Well, they are on the House subcommittee that is solely and exclusively and only responsible for writing 4th stimulus legislation in the House. Oh my goodness, did they write the 1st stimulus check? They did. Did they write the 2nd stimulus check? They did. Did they write the 3rd? They did. There you go. And now they are putting those 4 stimulus checks into the 4th stimulus package they represent. Oh my goodness, that's insanely good news. So that brought us up to yesterday's announcement. Yesterday's announcement came on the heels of what I had reported over the last prior week. I have been reporting that the president on a particular Tuesday recently had reached out to G7 countries. Why? The forced stimulus is paid by raising the U.S. corporate tax rate. But the president was concerned about the global corporate tax rate and wanted to fix that to fix forced stimulus. Because ultimately he was concerned about moderate Democrats if he's raising the U.S. corporate tax rate, but not fixing the global corporate tax rate. So I'd reached out to global leaders about a recent Tuesday ago and had asked them whether they would agree to a 15% global minimum corporate tax rate, and they tentatively said yes. Later that day, the president told insiders that after, the key word is after forced stimulus is passed, he's going to reach back to those global leaders around the globe and have them sign into law the global minimum corporate tax rate of 15%. And if they do, then he would drop the U.S. corporate tax rate in the forced stimulus closer to where it is right now. That was wonderful, wonderful news before Friday. On Friday, I told you there was hints in a buried news clipping article that the president was going to meet with the G7 countries on Saturday. And I thought that was very weird. I didn't know what it was. And I told you on air, be with me this Saturday because there's something about to break. And then it broke. On Saturday morning, the president, in a major deal for the forced stimulus package, got the G7 countries to agree yesterday, this Saturday, to the global minimum corporate tax rate of 15% now, not after forced stimulus, but now before they sign forced stimulus. And that the global minimum corporate tax rate of 15% will be signed into law by the G7 countries in person this coming next week. Oh my goodness, that is insanely good news. The president now has put the G7 issue ahead of the ball so that now it anchors forced stimulus to the finish line. This is absolutely wonderful. The most important pay-for-all for forced stimulus, which is the corporate tax rate, and the most potentially at issue between moderate Democrats and the present corporate tax rate, is now being solved by getting that global minimum corporate tax rate signed now into law, not after forced stimulus. That is absolutely wonderful and a major deal for the forced stimulus. But it gets better, and that is the volunteers. The volunteers are here to help you get that rent, utilities, and internet. And I want you to reach out to them. If you've had problems finding rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and similar, reach out to the volunteers. They embody the true spirit of the Purple Power. Last year, when I launched this channel, my focus was not reporting press clippings or just reading news articles. It was getting you money. And in the first few weeks, this channel got viewers $25 million of EIDL loans that they had otherwise not been approved on, saving their homes, saving their businesses, and saving their employees' homes. Then in fall of 2020, I saw that second stimulus may not get passed. So I stepped forward and made sure that you got rent, utilities, and more. And that is now what has now become this true embodiment of the Purple Power, people helping people. And now the volunteers are doing it as well. If you reach out to the volunteers, they'll help you get that rent, that mortgage assistance, that SNAP, if you've had problems getting it as well. Open the description of this video. Go down the description till you find a link to the community page. There's an emoji of a house and then a link to news.la.com/community. Follow that link and it'll send you over to the community page and the volunteers will help you get that money. I'll be back in 60 seconds with you with big exciting details in the third part of my update about the forced stimulus check with more insight and a personal message as well. And we'll be going over, of course, the breaking news about forced stimulus. Stay with me. I'll be back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. home. LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues on Mornings LALATE right now. The toast is toasted, the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here, and I'm very excited for you as we go into the second half of this Mornings LALATE broadcast. How are you? How's the weather where you are? And tell me where you're tuning in from. If you just joined the show, drop in the comments where you're watching from. This is Mornings LALATE. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record in 1 year, next top 1 million. Subscribe. I want you part of this family. You can't miss a single video. And the most in-depth, the most accurate, and the most comprehensive coverage you're going to have. Also, like this video and consider becoming a member. I'm next with you with Mornings Crypto right after the show. It's 5 minutes after the show ends, so join me on that big show coming up next. But first, let's jump into fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus heats up this fall. As a two-bill, two-step process, let's go over all the incredible details you need to know about fifth stimulus. It starts by raising up your benefits, and those benefits need to be raised up. They're going to raise up your benefits and then remove the asset limit, add an inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, and then remove the marriage penalty. Let's go over all the incredible details and the breaking news about this right now. So fifth stimulus involves the incredible reform of the benefit system. Your benefits will first be raised up to a big new number. Who's you? You. So if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, SSA, or any other benefits or multiple benefits, which I left out, you will be raised up to a big new number. Then they're going to apply a new benchmark. That benchmark is inflation. More than Elizabeth Warren was ever going to give you, more than COLA where it is currently right now. And we're going to see next week a little bit more about where that inflationary rate is going to be as new economic data is released. But here's what you need to know, is that most people are saying that the inflation rate in December is going to be the highest of a generation. If that's the case, your benefits will go up a lifetime through the roof. I'll explain to those details right now. Most analysts at the moment are talking about somewhere between 2 to 7% inflation, for example. Let's use 6% as an example. This is how it would work. First, under fifth stimulus, they'd raise your benefits up one big time. Then, in December, they applied the benchmark the first time, the first year. Let's say the inflation rate is 6% this fall. Then your benefits would raise up 6%, but not just next year. Lifetime, because the way benefits works is they raise up not just for 1 year, but lifetime. They never step down. So let's say the inflation rate the year after that is 0%. You're still at plus 6% because you only step up or stay the same. You never step down. If the year after that the inflation rate is 1%, then you're at plus 1 and plus 6%. Wonderful news to have your benefits tied to inflation when the rate is expected to be the highest of a generation when its first benchmark applied this December. The other parts of fifth stimulus of that SSI reform are removing the asset limit. It's wonderful, needs to go away. It's wonderful that it's going away because it prevents you from having more than about $3,000 on hand, just in time to get rid of it before you get those stimulus checks in your hand. Then they're going to get rid of the income cap, dating back to a 1960s law. It's going to go away. Prevents you from working if you want to work and stay on benefits. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to go away. Love is going to win. You will be able to marry your longtime love interest, not suffer them from the marriage penalty, or be penalized because of the marriage penalty, or prevented from getting married because of the marriage penalty. Incredible, great news. That's fifth stimulus. Out the door, likely to hand back your benefits they represent by about October, November, and then with the benchmark being applied for January. Now, what's important to know is that fifth stimulus has a lot of other items in there besides this. And in a given video that's 30 minutes long, that's currently 24 minutes, I don't have enough time to go over everything that's in fifth, fourth, or third stimulus. And that's the value of becoming a member. The membership link's at the top of the chat and in the pinned comment. As a member, you're sent out from this channel every day from me a breakdown of what's in the fifth stimulus, what's in the fourth stimulus, and the third stimulus. You need to know because it's your money to get. And a lot of the money is not automatic. You have to apply to get it. But when you do, you get thousands of dollars. For example, fifth stimulus has proposed in it a incredible hazard pay for single individuals, other money in there for single individuals, and money in there for single seniors as well. It's important you know what's in fifth stimulus, what's in fourth stimulus, and certainly what's in third stimulus, because a lot of money is still there for third stimulus for you to get. Which brings me now back to fourth stimulus and the third part of our fourth stimulus check update. I'm going to go over two things. First, I'm going to go over calling the vote, and then I'll be going over my personal thoughts and answering some of the questions you've been asking in recent days. First, calling the vote. It's very important that calling the vote is a constitutional provision with required steps. No way to cut those steps shorter. Let's go over what calling the vote is. There's 9 steps involved. The first half are procedural, the second half are substantive. First, the House subcommittee has to call a vote on the substantive bill. The House floor, step 2, House floor has to call a vote on the procedural bill. Step 3, the Senate calls a vote on the procedural bill. And step 4, the President signs the procedural bill. At that point, the tow truck has passed over the finish line. Time to go get the tow hitch, the substantive bill. Step 5, the House subcommittee writes the substantive bill. At that point, they can put those monthly stimulus checks in there, or they can leave them out. And then the House floor votes the substantive bill. Step 6, step 6, the House votes on the substantive bill. Step 7 and 8, the Senate then has a 2-day vote-a-rama. During the vote-a-rama, the senators amend whatever was given to them from the House. So if they were given from the House something with stimulus checks in it, they can leave it alone, or they can amend it during the vote-a-rama those 2 days. Or if the stimulus checks were not in there, they can amend it and add them in there. And then finally, step 9, the President signs into law. There you go. The 9 steps to call the vote, finishing out the door they represent by July 4th. Now, let's go over some of the questions you've asked, because it's important to know as we go into a Monday morning, a lot of people are going to be back for the weekend, and so there may be a lot of questions. And what's great about you, Purple Power, is that when you learn stuff, you share your knowledge with other people when they ask the questions. So I'm going to answer some of your questions so that this coming week, if people repeat the same question, you can answer the answer back to them now that you know the answer. First question, when would we first see what the senators want to do? You would first see it literally before it becomes law. The senators have a vote-a-rama during the final 2 days, the final 48 hours, when the substantive bills called for a vote. Senators inherently, deliberately do not want to show you what they want to do for several reasons. Number one, they don't want to tip off the opposing party what they want to say, do, or when they want to vote on it, because they want it to pass. Number two, they don't want to give any inclinations to other members of their party ahead of time what it is until they get all of them to agree privately behind closed doors that they're going to do it. Number three, they generally do this as a cloak and dagger, sort of covert way of approaching. So don't expect any grandstanding or anything. Here's an example. The $10,200 of unemployment assistance tax-free under 2020 was added with literally no advance warning by Vote-A-Rama, by the Democrats, in third stimulus. And when it was become law, you found it out literally minutes later. So you will not see anything from the senators to that final minute. Next, it's important to understand that there's expression that I see circulating in some broadcast media where it says in there, or not in there, or in that, or in this, or in them. It's important to understand that the in there refers to the vote, refers to the reconciliation as though a bill has been written. First of all, let's assume there is a bill that has been written that is completely substantively complete, and that the bill is totally finished from A to Z. Even if that event did occur, it could be butchered to death or it could be added to death by the Vote-A-Rama. Let's say the bill's written from A to Z, and it's currently, as we sit here on a Sunday morning. Well, the senators can add anything they want to add in the Vote-A-Rama or take anything out. But the truth of the matter is that the bill has not been written from A to Z. And so you've had some people sometimes say some things like, it's not in there. And I always laugh, what's there? There is not there yet. The reason why the substantive bill goes to the House subcommittees to be finished and finalized and voted upon is so that it can be finished and finalized and voted upon. And we're not even at that point. That's why we have the emojis. Not bill yet, not law yet. Next, some people like to say this expression, I haven't heard from. This is 2021. 2021 is different than 2020. 2020 was an election year, a presidential election year, a senatorial election year. And so a lot of people use stimulus as a way to advance their attention span, advance attention on them. This year, people don't talk as much. The president doesn't talk as much as the prior administration talked. Moreover, it's important to understand that legislators generally don't tell you what they're doing ahead of time. AOC once famously said that they just give you the bill and tell you to vote in 5 minutes from now. So people are sort of asking why we don't hear from a particular person or hear from that particular person. It's not the way it works in 2021. Finally, people are trying to dissect the president versus the legislature. President doesn't write legislation. President proposes legislation. The legislator writes legislation. Finally, there was a comment. I have to laugh. There was a comment from Yaya, I think it was on Overnight's Crypto, where someone said something like, can they just send out the checks in June? And then Yaya said something along the lines of, can someone stop it with the June checks? I just went over the 9 steps of the voting process. Now, if you want to pull out a calendar and figure out how you can get 9 business days, 9 Monday through Fridays done between now and December, and send something out in December, between 9 calendar days between now and the end of June, then you can figure it out. But it's just, I don't see how anything can go out in the month of June. So I appreciate the thoughtfulness of people trying to think things can be done in June, but it doesn't look like anything could go out in the month of June with 9 voting days, and those are business days. I don't work on the weekend. Oh, and finally, one last one. This is my favorite one. This dates back to 2020. I love this one. Not in session. You remember Hey Fox News? If you've been with me for a year, you remember I made a lot of videos about Hey Fox News. Not in session is perhaps one of the most hysterical expressions I see anywhere, where people just hear that expression say, oh, they're gone, they're out of town. No, that's not what not in session means. Not in session means the House floor and the Senate floor is not open for voting. Doesn't mean they're on vacation. Doesn't mean they're out of town. Doesn't mean they're not working. In fact, it's actually the reverse. The House floor and the Senate floors are only open for certain days for voting. But the days that it's closed, they're in the subcommittees writing legislation and finishing that and having meetings and having panel conferences and having Javita Lake appear before House subcommittees and things like that. So every time someone uses that word expression, not in session, they want people to think that people are gone and nothing's being done. Not true. And there you go. Finally, the most important thing you need to know, which is you got to push. Legislators may pass laws and then the money may not be sent out. Legislators may write bills and they may not call for vote. Legislators may propose legislation and may fold like a lawn chair. And you need to push Purple Power. Purple Power is back on, baby. You need to take these videos and share them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, hashtag MSE, hashtag Purple Power. This channel is cashing checks, not tracking checks. So you don't want to be sitting back and asking what day in the week, in the month, in the hour are they voting on? No, you want to be on social media and pushing. Some of you have been doing a very good job, but the rest, but the people who are asking what hour, month, and hour are we seeing the Zenith proposal? No. Be on social media, hashtag MSC, hashtag Purple Power. Share the videos and share them on Facebook, Reddit, and Instagram. And I will be back with you in 5 minutes from now as Morning's Crypto heats up, and then 11 a.m. with noontime. I have more exciting details on that as well. So with that, stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful morning, a Sunday morning. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.